This little pen went to the market. This little pen was the doodle that got started. I don't even know what I'm talking about, and I'm just making up rhymes. I think at this point maybe I have completely lost my mind. And I do wonder, what is the time of 5:40? Right now I'm cooking some pork in a skillet, and I'm very hungry. You know, I don't have any salt right now to season it. I think I'll just use... I think there's some salt in my chili powder seasoning. I think that might work. Anyways, I'm going to be doing a doodle today. I'm going to show you how to doodle with this pen here. Well, not with this pen specifically, but you could use any pen that you want. The sketchbook that we're going to be drawing in is this Pentalic sketchbook. And I'm going to be showing you how I start my doodles with what I call the triangle method. By starting out with the triangle, adding things around that triangle, putting things in the inside of it. And I mean, it's pretty simple to start out with. I just make a triangle, I add things to the outside and things inside. Now, when it comes to doodling, a lot of times if I don't know what to make at all, I'll actually just close my eye and just make a line on the paper. Or I will just make a shape at the beginning of it, kind of like how we would do if you were trying to make a mandala, to where you make a square, a triangle, a circle, or any basic or more complicated shape, so that you can then add things around that. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today in this video with this pen here. And now you can do this with anything, a crayon. You can do it with, you can go outside and get a rock and do it in the sand. I guess doing a doodle in the beach sand would how that would work. Probably wouldn't last very long. Kind of like if you make a sand castle, all that work put into making it, then it just gets washed away. Unless you build it out of stones and seashells. I think that that might be an option. But the drawing that I'll be doing and showing you, it's a tutorial really, a very simple tutorial and not too complicated, but let's go ahead and start on the drawing and the doodle. And while I'm doing the drawing, just watch, draw along if you want to, listen. That's completely up to you. And let me know if there's anything else you would like to have a tutorial on when it comes to doodling. I'm more of a doodle expert than when it comes to drawing portraits. Although I can draw portraits and all that, I don't really have much of an interest in it because I'm just recreating something that already exists. It's very technical, requires a lot of skill, but I kind of switch from doing that so often to more doing doodling because I never know what I'm going to make. It's always something random. But let's go ahead. I don't know, I don't think I can juggle yet. I'm not going to do it with my Lama Safari. I don't want to break it. Where I can get like 100 of these for maybe $20. So, but maybe I should practice juggling sometime, or I could do juggling while I'm drawing. That would require a lot of multitasking. But anyways, it's good to start in this doodle and watch, draw along, listen, up to you. Let's see how to start a doodle with the triangle method. How to doodle a triangle doodle method. Now the first step is to have a pen or something that you can draw on a piece of paper or something or anything with. The next step is to start out with a triangle. Now in my last video I covered this, the circle method, which is drawing a circle and then adding things outside of that. In this drawing I'm doing the same thing. I start out with a triangle, I add whatever I want to it, and most of the time I'm not thinking about what I'm adding. I just start adding things. I don't worry about trying to make it perfect. Because I have been asked before, what do you think of when you're drawing? What goes through your mind? I will explain that in another video in more detail, and when I do, I'll tell you what goes through my mind and everything. But for the most part, as you can see in this drawing, I just keep adding things to it until the whole page is mostly filled up. I keep adding leaves and parts of what looks like trees and clouds and leaves and all kinds of random things and other shapes and stuff that I don't know what it is. But for the most part, I just keep drawing things until the point that I end up with something on my paper that resembles a doodle. that's mostly it. And as you can see here, I just continue adding leaves, and then on the leaves I add some shading, a little bit of cross hatching, and then from there I just keep repeating patterns over and over. If I get to a point in a drawing to where I feel like I don't know what to draw next, I just start repeating a pattern over and over until something just happens where I start drawing something. Or I'll add another little triangle or a circle or a leaf. And then I'll make a little quick scribbly outline of something random, and then I just start adding that in there. And in this drawing I also add like what looks like tubes or something, to where they go like underneath each other to make it look like there's more depth to it, and then add some scribbly areas to make more ink in the paper, to add a bit of more contrast and kind of make the doodle pop off the paper. And then I go in, add some clouds, and the clouds, I didn't put any stippling on them because stippling takes a while, and this is a tutorial or a quick lesson on how to doodle things, so I didn't want to spend a long time doing it. Although in the future I will do possibly a real-time doodle while I talk about what I'm doodling, what goes through my mind. Although that could be two separate videos. One could be, I think, what am I thinking about when I'm doodling, and the second one is my plan during it. But I don't really have a plan that much. I kind of just start doing things, and things just happen, which tends to happen if you draw for a very long time. You get the muscle memory, you get the obsession to keep drawing and to make things and to fill up the paper. I think a very good satisfactory thing to do is to fill up a sketchbook. But for me, there is this excitement of starting a new sketchbook, but then the slight anxiety for about a minute of how many drawings I have to do. But then I'm also excited about wondering what I'm going to make, how it's going to turn out. In this one, I intended to draw a big triangle, but I ended up drawing a small triangle. And then after I drew that, I just started going with it. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to make something. It doesn't really matter. It's a doodle. I mean, a doodle isn't really anything specifically. I mean, it could be, unless you doodle a portrait of somebody and it doesn't even look like them in any way. But that's one thing I like about doodling nature things, is that nothing in nature is really perfect. Things are always different. Things are always changing. So that's what I see in a lot of my doodles and in my art. But as you can see here, I'm adding some more leaves all over the place, adding details to the leaves, and adding some clouds, and adding more details around the left side and the bottom, and kind of just going around. I started from the center. Sometimes my doodles start from the center, and other times they might start from one of the corners, or maybe the bottom, or the top, or left, or the right side of the drawing, or maybe it starts in the center and then just goes into random places. But this is pretty much how I start the triangle doodle method, and hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know if there's anything else you would like me to doodle or do a tutorial on. Until then, thank you for watching, and you all have fun doodling out there. I'll see you later. Have a nice day.